Now, Brett, let's just jump right into our U.S. Open because we don't have a lot of time before they start teeing off on Thursday morning, so we have some interesting picks. I didn't look at the round one bets. I was more looking at overall over the course of the weekend. How about you?
Yeah, Higgins, I'm actually very excited for this tournament as an East Coast fan because the tee times are at 9 a.m. I get some evening golf, Higgins. I love West Coast majors, and we get Torrey Pines, and we get Torrey Pines maxed out, Higgins. They are playing from the tips of the tips of the tips, and that had me looking at the best strokes gained off the tee players, Higgins, and I found some great value in the top 20 field. So like you, I was looking at long-term weekend bets.
Yeah, even some of the people that have done like podcasts and some radio interviews that had the grounds crew, they were talking about how Torrey Pines, yes, just like most of these U.S. Opens in the past, it does favor the longer hitters. However, I didn't quite look at it that way. I mean, Bryson DeChambeau did win in 2020 when they played at Winged Foot last September, but you'll think of the U.S. Open, you have to think of who's able to get up and down because U.S. Opens, rarely do you have a large number of players that are playing under par golf. And so the first thing I really looked at was there's a prop in Oregon on how many players are going to be under par at the end of the tournament. And they set that line at 6.5 players. I'm taking that under. I mean, last year in 2020, DeChambeau was the only player under par. It is not uncommon that there is a winner over par in the U.S. Open. So they don't mess around. I've heard there are some parts of this course where the rough is longer than it was in 2008, the last time Torrey Pines hosted the U.S. Open. So I think this is going to be a brutal challenge for a lot of golfers. It'll be very fun for the amateur golfers who get to watch their favorite pros kind of come back down to earth a little bit and look like a regular golfer, have a hard time finding a ball, maybe hit a duff on a terrible lie, things like that. It's going to be hard to break under par, though, so under 6.5 players, that's the line that stood out to me the most for this weekend.
Yeah, I'm just curious, Higgins. What's the juice on that under?
Oh, it's minus 110 either side.
Minus 110 on under. Wow, that's unbelievable. That
It's
is
a
great
beautiful
odds.
line in Oregon. Beautiful line in Oregon. That's my
Yeah.
favorite line of this entire golf segment we have here, I think.
Yeah, okay, this is done. We're done offering advice. That's it. Yes. Well, I didn't have anything like that. No one was giving me some layups here, but I'm gonna be on the few top 20s that I mentioned, Higgins. I was looking at the strokes gained off the tee. Number one in strokes gained off the tee this year, no surprise, Bryson DeChambeau. Number two, Sergio. With all due respect to Sergio, who's a great golfer, he doesn't perform particularly well in majors over his career, so I didn't really feel the need to bet him. But number four is a guy whose name bettors are going to love, Higgins. Johnny Vegas is our
Johnny
guy.
Vegas.
Johnny
Gotta love
Vegas. Yeah, absolutely. What a name. Have to bet on a guy named Johnny Vegas. Fourth in strokes gained off tees on the year. He is going at plus 410 in New Jersey to finish in the top 20. Higgins, I am hitting that with 0.5 units. I simply do not know very much about this guy, but his name is Johnny Vegas. Fourth in strokes gained off the tee, and he's plus 410. You have to be on Johnny Vegas.
Hey, I mean, you just convinced me a little bit. I'll have to look at what those odds are here in Oregon. Maybe I'll take that over here. I like that pick. But I see you also have a few other top 20s that you liked as well.
Yeah, so going off the same kind of strategy here, Victor Hovland to finish in the top 20 plus 105. He's fifth in strokes gained off the tee this year. Some guys I like, Patrick Cantlay, 15th in strokes gained off tee for the year. He's minus 110 to finish in the top 20. Now, he's a guy that maybe this strategy doesn't fully back Higgins because I just think he's an unbelievable golfer that's yet to win a major, and I think it's coming at some point. So I expect him to be very competitive this weekend. And a guy I like who I've backed earlier this year, I told you about during the Masters. Will Zalatoris has come to play in his major career, Higgins. I think we might have another Brooks Koepka in the making where the guy just raises his level in the majors and he's plus money again to finish in the top 20. So I got to find myself on that, Higgins. Will Zalatoris paid out nicely at Augusta. I got to back my guys.
Absolutely. So that's 4 top 20 picks. And for those that are listening, you should pay attention. Maybe go back to listen to those picks again because so far in 2021, Brett is 2-0 with his golf picks so far. I am 1-4. I had some prop picks that were just a little too long of odds, didn't quite hit back with the Masters. But I have a few other picks, but besides that over under that I told you about, I love that under 6.5 players to finish under par. Another one that I like is Xander Schauffele to finish in the top 10. This is a man that is from San Diego, where Torrey Pines is. It's a public course. Xander has played there countless times. He grew up playing on this course. That type of familiarity at a major has to be irreplaceable. I know that the course is going to look a little different. It did get renovated in the past few years. They grow out the rough, for example. They do a few different things, but overall, he understands this course and where he needs to hit it probably better than anybody else, even without looking at his notebook that he's filled out during his pre-rounds. And then I decided to look at the outright winners, Brett, and I took 5, and I'm putting half a unit on each of them. Now, the way I decided these picks, a lot of these picks so you went based off of driving. I went a little bit based off of driving as well. Driving accuracy percentage, so fairways hit and greens in regulation. That's what I'm looking at because the player that can do the best of staying out of the rough historically does the best in the US Open. So I look at players like Siwoo Kim, who is my long shot here at plus 9,000, but he is 98th on the tour in driver accuracy percentage at 60.5%. And then his green in regulation, he's 63rd. Some other players that I like. Patrick Reed, who's a long ball hitter, that should favor him as well. John Rahm, who's the favorite of anybody on the course. He would have won a tournament recently if it wasn't for a COVID test. He's been playing fantastic. I like him at plus 1,600. Brooks Koepka at plus 2,700. You said it yourself, Brett. Brooks steps up to another level when it's the majors. And we have seen over the past few weeks this contention between Brooks and Bryson and the hatred between them and their fans and all of this. There was a rumor that the two of them were supposed to maybe be paired on Thursday, and when the committee asked Bryson if he was okay with that, he declined playing with Brooks. I personally really hope we see those two play at some point this weekend because that featured group would be phenomenal to watch. So that is John Rahm at plus 1,600, Brooks Koepka at plus 2,700, Siwoo Kim at plus 9,000, Patrick Reed at plus 3,300, and my last pick, the man that won the PGA Championship, the man who the U.S. Open has consistently evaded throughout his entire career. There is no reason logically why you should be betting on Phil Mickelson, who just set the record as the oldest man to ever win a major, who has never won a U.S. Open. But you know what? If I don't bet on Phil Mickelson and he finally wins a U.S. Open, I am going to hate myself. So this is a purely passion pick right here, but I am also putting half a unit on Phil Mickelson at plus 5,500.
All right, Higgins. Well, I hope one of your guys wins. I like the Schauffele pick. I definitely think he is a name to watch this weekend. You mentioned it, the hometown kid at home. Another top tier golfer, like similar to Cantlay, kind of just does everything well. And, that can keep you in contention at a place like this. You're playing for pars, Higgins. Par is a great score at the U.S. Open.
It really is. And like you said, he's around the group. That's why I took him as a top 10 finish at plus 130. I think those odds are pretty favorable as well, giving me that positive value back.